Hi everyone. Today is Monday, December 22nd. And aside from classes, I was working on a presentation with programming and using AI to help um, develop or fix and kind of debug. So I was experimenting with one piece of code I found that I was curious to look at kind of this kind of natural language learning process of like if I was showing something to a child and associating the image, the sound, and the repetition, and I was remembering a couple scenes from some movies that depict that process. And then I was trying to figure out how could that be developed with some web tools. So I was able to find a way to get the webcam, some object detection, and then associate object detection with text to speech. And from the text to speech in multiple languages, and then even add in the microphone to repeat um, a word back and get some confirmation and validation if it was correct, which in a way feels like the interaction that could happen if I had like a flashcard with a child and like held up the flashcard to the camera. It identifies what it is, and then I repeat what I hear. So it's a mix of kind of teaching or having like this student teacher interaction. In this case, if I really don't know the words, then I could hold up a set of flashcards, and if the dictionary is, is kind of pre-filtered, that's something I could trust. If it's just single words that are recognizable and not dependent on context, so like naming an animal or naming a household object, like in the kitchen or something, school supplies. Those are some words that are tangible, concrete, and don't need context to change the meaning or change the vocabulary word. A giraffe is a giraffe. A fork is a fork. I mean, it could be a salad fork or dessert fork or something like that, but um, like a knife by itself is a knife or something like that, or a cup or a glass. So more or less, it's a or a banana is a banana, for example. So um, that it was an interesting project to kind of scale up, but I can't really take credit for the programming part, and I think that's kind of the point of this exercise is that the idea, perhaps the idea is mine of how to kind of build this up, but the actual programming of it doesn't have to be completely me. So it is a tool that can help with that. Um, uh, and and I think there can be a blurred line between who takes credit or is credit necessary for this kind of a process. If what really counts more is what you do with it, do you use it as a tool for learning? And so uh, I don't think the process just stops at who made it, how it was made, but then what you do with it. I think that becomes a more important question, and I think we could get easily stuck on the this the kind of ethical discussion of like, well, who gets credit or who made it. But if we don't allow ourselves to just fixate on that point, if we can move past that point and say whether or not this is all artificially created, or there is human input, or some, or both. For the language learning part, it's how the human ends up using this to learn the language. Now, in other discussions, I think when there has been a photography competition and the winning photograph that was chosen by a jury turned out to be an AI photo, and then the artist revealed intentionally that they had lied on their artwork that they submitted for their submission for the competition. It was intentionally done to force a conversation between, okay, well, this photograph is not a photograph. It's digitally created with artificial intelligence completely, and it won based on the jury's appreciation. Now, because it is revealed, the origin and the conditions for that competition were taken by a person. Why can we not accept this, and how do we now protect human artists and craftspeople and people who are creating things? And in the case of creating programming and code, in this particular situation of language learning, I'm not interested in necessarily teaching the artificial intelligence the language. I want it to help build a tool that I can use, or my students can use. And so if that skill set is beyond my comfort zone or beyond my level of competence, I still know enough to read the code and be able to detect when something is working, not working, and try to figure things out and be able to ask it to help me fix it or help me expand on it. So I think as somebody who's potentially like working with a small business, do we only like as a CEO or somebody, do we only hire people who know, less than the CEO, or does the CEO, the director, kind of hire people who are more skilled and experts in certain aspects of the company, and the CEO becomes kind of like a chef d'orchestre, like a orchestral conductor who is assembling experts in various fields and allowing each of those to contribute to the whole. So in this case, for like programming, developing something, I want to be able to kind of call on expertise of different things, and I don't consider myself an expert in the programming part, but I know enough that I can call upon the assistance or the help for the programming and debugging. So more importantly, it's kind of what I do with the tool afterwards to learn a language. If the tool helps, it's not just how is the tool made. Does it do its function? Then I'm happy with that. Hola a todos. Hoy es lunes, el 22 de diciembre, y estoy hablando de continuar con la presentación sobre programación con la ayuda de la inteligencia artificial. y estaba analizando un progreso de el aprendizaje natural de, por ejemplo, mostrar a un bebé o a un niño un objeto y decir cómo se llama ese objeto, identificarlo, nombrarlo y poco a poco incentivar al niño a repetir y asociar el objeto con su nombre en un idioma y luego intentar repetir en voz alta y sabemos que hay como un progreso, un desarrollo de la, la calidad de la pronunciación, articulación y que poco a poco se mejora y tal vez hay algo aproximativo, no es la palabra completa o um, hay algo abreviado y poco a poco el nivel de calidad se mejora um, y reconocemos ese esfuerzo. Estaba intentando ver cómo, cómo imitar ese proceso de aprendizaje. Entonces, con el webcam se puede identificar objetos, recibir un nombre, porcentaje de compatibilidad, de si está correcto. Y luego de eso, añadir un idioma, añadir una traducción, añadir el micrófono para intentar imitar la pronunciación, para repetir esa palabra. Y yo creo que eso puede ser algo dinámico y con varios idiomas puede ayudar para aprender cierto vocabulario. Entonces, como concepto, uh, yo pensé que era interesante y es algo que se puede desarrollar más adelante. Bonjour tout le monde, aujourd'hui c'est lundi, c'est le 22 décembre et je continue à travailler sur la présentation avec l'usage de programmation et l'intelligence artificielle. Et aujourd'hui, j'étais en train d'analyser une situation où, par exemple, on montre un objet à un enfant et on commence à associer un nom prononcé avec l'objet et on essaie de faire répéter la prononciation euh, et après aussi répéter la prononciation et confirmer si c'est correct. Et il y a aussi quelques exemples dans le cinéma qui, qui montrent un peu cet phénomène de l'apprentissage et j'essaie de, de reproduire ça avec la programmation et c'est intéressant de pouvoir faire ça et voir un exemple qui marche plus ou moins et ça donne plus d'idées pour un concept. Mais j'espère que les gens qui vont regarder la présentation peuvent imaginer leur propre mise en place avec l'apprentissage. Voilà. Hallo an alle, heute ist Montag, der 22. Dezember und heute habe ich weiterhalten, arbeiten mit den Presentation und ich habe etwas gemacht und versteht, wie, wie lernt man oder wie lernt ein Baby und Baby zum Beispiel. Und ich denke, dass mit etwas wir können sehen und hören, wie sagt man das und wiederholen und sagen, was wir haben gehört. Und mit dem Computer, ich habe etwas gemacht mit der Kamera, Audio, Mikrofon, Mikro und es funktioniert und es ist ein guter Surprise und ich sehe, dass ich kann übersetzen die Wörter und auch wiederholen und es ist sehr interessant, was kann ich zu tun und ich hoffe, dass die Leute in dem Konferenz haben mehr Ideen und das ist alles für heute. Ciao a tutti, oggi è lunedì il 22 di dicembre e oggi ho continuato a lavorare con la presentazione e ho potuto ehm, ehm, come impara un bebè, per esempio, di nuove parole e penso che ho visto un esempio che aiuta molto e per questo ehm, ehm, voglio continuare a capire come impariamo e con video, parole, possiamo ripetere parole e dopo questo parlare e avere un commentario di è corretto o come migliorare questo. E penso che aiuta molto. E questo è tutto per oggi. Всем привет, сегодня понедельник, это 22 декабря, и сегодня я продолжал работать на презентации, и думаю, что у меня была большая идея, как учиться новые слова, ребенок, например, и я понял, что у нас есть рисунки, слова, мы можем сказать это, и также у нас есть фидбэк, это было правильно, как делать лучше. И я смог делать это с программом. И сейчас и также ChatGPT помогал много, но я хочу объяснить, как делать это на конференции. И это все на сегодня. Большое спасибо. Пока.